2020, 5:30 p.m. is the Rules, Confirmations, and Public Elections Committee. Let's go ahead and get rolling, starting with RS 2020-207, Van Reese, Murphy, and others. Honors Nashville African American suffragists, including Dr. Maddie Coleman, Nettie Langston Napier, J. Frankie Pierce, who successfully fought for the vote for women. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you again for considering this in the series of women's suffrage resolutions that we're doing for the 100th anniversary. This particular resolution also recognizes that it's African American History Month, and so we wanted to make sure and recognize these particular suffragists during this time period. This resolution was read live by 17 of the women caucus members of the Metro Council at the Metro Library at a reception recently, as we got to take a quick sneak peek of the Votes for Women room. And so we appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that at the Public Library Foundation. This is another one of those amendments in the series, and we request your support.
Thank you. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. RS 2020-208, Glover expresses the Metro Council's intention to support Mayor Cooper's commitment to protect taxpayer dollars and focus the use of government resources on public safety and improvements to our school system. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
So let me tell you what I'm going to do, if I may.
Okay.
All right. So I just had a conversation with the finance director, Mr. Crumbo. He and I have not been able to talk since this was done. We did talk, so I'm going to move to defer indefinitely. And I'm going to, if I need to, I'll bring it back. But that's what, right now, rather than us sitting here and discussing it on the floor for an hour, hour and a half tonight, I'm going to defer indefinitely. And should it need to come back, then I will.
Great.
Okay, so I'm going to move to defer indefinitely.
Okay. Any other discussion? Is there a motion to defer indefinitely?
Motion.
Second.
All right. All in favor of indefinite deferral?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. On to RS 2020-209 by Nash. Request the Davidson County delegation to the Tennessee General Assembly support a change in state law to include stormwater utilities among the utilities covered under the Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority Act. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second. I'm going to ask for a two-meeting deferral, if it's appropriate. And a little comment. I want to, two things this is not. This is not about me trying to get out of my training. I've got all my certificates here. I've done the whole thing. So it's no big one. And secondly, this does not create a water authority. Certainly after we went to the woodshed with the state comptroller about the water department being in financial distress, and kind of watching us go from kind of a crisis to another crisis, I thought it at least was worthy of discussion to discuss the creation of a water authority where we would have a board that is exclusively focused on water and wastewater, and state law allows us, as it was mentioned in I think Commissioner Munpower's address to us, that we could start a water authority, do by resolution. But the current law that allows that only speaks to water and wastewater and doesn't speak to stormwater, which Metro does. So just to get the conversation started, well, let's get the state law straightened out. So if we decide we would want to do a water authority, we'd have the foundation there and we could cover all the duties that Metro currently performs. Now, in further discussion with the mayor's office, we find that at the current moment, Metro's cash on hand is at such a state that we really can't afford to separate water out. It's their cash flow that helps us with our bonds and with our tax anticipation notes. And so, to make it clear, I will not be coming forth with another resolution to create a water authority anytime soon. Mr. Mumpower, although I've discussed making this change at the state law with Representative Powell and Senator Dickerson, and at least Representative Powell, I haven't discussed with him since I just heard back from the mayor's office kind of conclusively that this is just not the time to do it. And I agree. I mean, we're in a mess. We all know it, and it's going to take a while to work through that. But they plan to at least move forward and put it on notice, and then have some testimony at the state, and then pull it off notice, possibly. The mayor's office is supportive of this bill, and I will be bringing back a substitute when we do this next that takes out the language about Davidson County in it to make it very clear that this is going to be a bill that would allow any entity within Tennessee that wanted to form an authority. It just adds the duties of stormwater to those that would be eligible if some city chose to do it. So that's where we're at, and I'll see you in a couple of meetings if you approve.
Okay, so motion to defer 2 meetings, please.
Bob, you mentioned that you you weren't looking to bring forward a resolution that would create a water authority anytime soon. But does that mean, though, that you think eventually we should go that way?
You know, at the moment, yes. But again, we got to do it financially responsibly. I'm convinced that at the moment we can't do it. But we're a big utility.
Yeah.
We're the vital service to this city. And I took this training, but for me to purport to be a really knowledgeable water authority board member, I think it's a little bit of a reach. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, we may all find ourselves there. I don't want to speak because I might have an engineer in here or something, but I think with a utility this large and this vital, that someday I'd like to get there. Now, whether it'll happen in my term, I don't know. We are in a deep hole, and we're not going to get out of it overnight. But to have an expertise and a little more transparency. I mean, one of the issues that we found was, well, gee, nobody knew we were in this dire need. Why wasn't you were informed? Well, it was told it was not the right time. And even this last water increase, folks got surprised because there was $10 million that went to the general fund. And I don't think you would have those kinds of transparency issues if you had a real board to kind of provide some buffer and, again, transparency, and could focus on water and sewer and the like.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other discussion? Is there a motion to defer 2 meetings?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Resolution 2020-211, Sepulveda, Young, and others request the members of the Tennessee General Assembly support legislation amending Tennessee Code Annotated Title 45, Chapter 15, the Tennessee Title Pledge Act. Is there a motion?
For sake of discussion.
Okay. Councilmember?
Yeah, so this resolution is basically asking the Tennessee General Assembly to come up with legislation to lower the interest rates. The state of Tennessee has the most payday lenders from all the other states in this country. You know, they prey on minorities, low-income people, people who are making less than $40,000 a year, people without college educations. It's not necessarily, it's not telling them to eliminate them, it's just telling them to find a solution and lower the rates.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Samantha?
Have you talked to somebody you're encouraging them to do this? Do you have somebody in particular who's going to do a bill? Talk about a bill?
So similar resolutions have already been passed in Memphis and Chattanooga. Joda Thanua, who is part of this nonprofit, is actually working on this, and so he's reached out to Yusuf Hakim, he's reached out to Akbari, Darren Jernigan here in Middle Tennessee. So they are aware that this is happening, and I think it's good for our city not to lag behind when so many of our people are struggling with this. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Cool.
Any other discussion? Ready to vote? I need to abstain on this. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thank you. On to elections and confirmations. The Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee, the appointments, please.
For the bid on site.
Do you need some chairs up there? How many chairs? How
Do
many
you
at
want to
one
do yours
time?
real, do you want to do it? Yeah, I'm sorry,
How many chairs you need up here at one time?
do 3 and 2. Before we do these real quick though, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring some chairs. I'll sit right
Sorry that I don't have this printed out.
You said 3? Here,
3 would be great.
one more? Okay.
So the Rules Committee appoints the questionnaires that appointments, nominations complete, and there's a request,
That won't be right there for y'all?
set of requests from the clerk and the LGBT caucus to add a few things to the questionnaire. So what is being recommended is that we add language on the questionnaire that says the following questions are optional and for demographic purposes only. Any information provided will be a matter of public record. What is your gender? And then a blank space. What's your race or ethnicity? And then a blank space. And do you wish to openly identify as LGBTQ? And then a checkbox. Does anybody have any, is everybody supportive of that?
Sure.
Great. Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay, now on to elections and confirmations. Let's do 3 and then 2, if we can start with, please, the appointment of Mr. Nick Brassel, the appointment of Mr. Richard Chapman, and the appointment of Ms. Trish Holliday. If you wouldn't mind grabbing those 3 chairs there.
I think Mr. Chapman is.
And Mr. Chapman's out of town.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do 2 and 2. Okay. Would y'all mind introducing yourselves and talking a little bit about your interest in the board and what your intentions and hopes are with the board?
Sure. I'll take off. My name's Nick Brazel. I, for the past 14 years, have done collectively bargained union, construction, trade benefit plans, third-party administration and consultation. Resident in Nashville, I love the city, love the growth it's had, and I'm interested in making sure that, you know, the benefits that are offered to all employees of the city are, you know, appropriate, and that's about it.
Thank you.
I'm Trish Holliday, and I have been an HR professional for about 28 years and love the idea of workforce focus, and I believe really passionately about the investment in the workforce is the secret to how successful organizations are. So this is a great opportunity for me to give back. I'm native Nashvilleian, born and raised here, seen it, used to ride. I was telling them in the hallway, I used to ride the bus downtown to Kane Sloan to shop for Christmas with my grandmother. So have definitely been a part of the city and love everything it's about. And so it's just a great opportunity to serve. I've been, most recently, I was the former Chief Learning Officer for the state of Tennessee prior to my partner and I launching our own HR consulting firm, and had the opportunity to work with employees and specifically helping the rewards, incentives, benefits piece really flourish for the workforce. So it was a perfect fit, it felt like.
Thank you. Questions for these 2 nominees?
I have a question. Would you both be willing to seek the input of Metro employees and labor unions as part of your work on the board?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I have a question. I'm sorry, blame it on my ignorance, but reading through your information, I couldn't tell you had bargained. You were saying, were you bargaining on behalf of the employees or on behalf of the company?
I don't do any bargaining. We just do third-party administration for collectively bargained construction trade plans. So,
Okay.
So health,
Okay, so you haven't
health and
really-
retirement plans. Well, I don't do the bargaining. We just administer the plans and do consultation on the benefits.
Any other questions? Okay. All in favor? Approval? Opposed? Thank you. See you two next door, and we'll welcome up Mr. Cleo Rucker and Ms. Kim Stagg.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Would y'all please introduce yourselves and do the same?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Kim Stagg, and I'm an attorney with the law firm of Dickinson Wright, which has an office here in downtown Nashville. I have lived here since 1996. I spent a lot of time here before I moved away to the East Coast. Graduated Dixon County High School. And I have watched the city change drastically since, the late 70s to now. But what an accomplishment of the city, and what opportunities and challenges we have ahead of us. I do live in Davidson County now, in Forest Hills, and I got a call from Kevin Crumbo, and he said, I need you to serve. Would you do it? And I have always been willing to get involved in community service. I don't have active community service on my plate right now, and so I told him, of course, I am happy to serve. So here I am.
Nice.
It is as simple as that.
I'm Cleo Rucker. I'm Director of HR Consultant and Labor Relations and Employee Relations at Vanderbilt University. Been there for, I think, almost 9 years now, and actually been in Nashville for the last 9 years. In my role over there, I oversee a group of HR consultants that actually work with employees and leaders just on a host of HR issues, and also work with departments as it relates to the benefits and the issues that we face here. Prior to coming to Nashville, I worked for Milwaukee Public Schools. I was a labor relations attorney where I did represent management and contract negotiations, as well as help with the design of the benefits plan that was self-insured benefit, health benefit system that we had. This was brought up to me as an opportunity to not only play a role in giving back to the city of Nashville, but being the husband of a school teacher that's in the county. I thought this was a great opportunity for me to bring a voice to the table and to really lean on some, not only experience, but some insight that I have.
Nice. Questions, Councilman?
This is for both of y'all. Over the last 30 years, we've seen trends in our country. The cost of benefits has slowly shifted from the employer to the employee, especially in the private sector, but also in the public sector. At the same time, wages have stagnated and income inequality has grown. What are your thoughts on the employer's role in providing high-quality benefits to its employees?
Would you like to go? I'll go first on that one. Well, having worked at both in the public sector as well as the private sector, and understanding and recognize the huge burden that the cost of health insurance is putting on not only the families but on the employers themselves, I do recognize, especially a place like Metro government, where the rising costs, in fact, I was just talking about this today as it relates to our employees, the rising cost of health care and other benefits are fastly outpacing the wage increases that employees are given. Now, recognizing that this is not only a challenge that we get to be involved and be at the table to discuss, but also a challenge that we have to recognize that people in our community are living with day to day. And that increase that we're given, where we may say it's just, for example, a 3% increase, that increase is being eaten up by the cost of the increase in health insurance benefits daily. I think that's a challenge that we, as not only the commission, but I think you as leaders here have to, really think about, and, have to have an open kind of direct conversation about.
Thank you.
I agree with you on your facts. How we tackle them is the big question. I'm of the opinion that it is an employer's responsibility on behalf of its employees to find the best benefit package options that are available for the money that they can spend on those benefits. However, resources are not endless. whether that's in the private sector or the public sector. So to the extent our responsibility is to evaluate options, or at least make certain options have been fully vetted and investigated, I think that's the job of an employer.
Since you are going to be making these recommendations, are there any that you have in mind already?
No, and I'll tell you, I have lived under so many different arrangements and supported in corporations many different changes, whether that is going from a defined benefit pension plan to a very rich 401k plan with a lot of employer contributions, a high deductible health care plan as opposed to a health care plan where there was no deductible and no employee contribution. And those shifts over time are very painful for some people. But unfortunately, I think today's economy is demanding that. Those changes have to come, though, with a lot of information and facts and basis, and then the decision on the change has to be done very wisely. I think we have quite the task ahead of us to make those wise decisions.
Thank you.
I want to ask the same question that somebody asked of the previous people, because I think you're right. You have a horrendous task in front of you, and it's going to take a lot of details, information, that type of thing. But another piece that sometimes, I'm going to say, people in the higher level may not access is the conversation with employees themselves. What they are wanting, what they are looking at, and why they may, if it's something that's almost like this, why they choose one over the other. So are you all open to talking to and speaking with employee groups as you're making this conversation so that you will hear both sides of things?
I think it makes sense. I know that I don't know what specific resources that may be available for us as it relates to, surveys or whatever it may be. But the reality, it doesn't benefit anyone if we come away with a recommendation that no one's going to use, and that we come away with a recommendation that is, putting some individuals in one plan versus another plan that's ineffective. So I think we need to, and I do like the answer that was given that was pretty direct. Yes, I think we have to hear from the users in these situations of what makes sense.
Thank you.
I hope we have an opportunity to engage in that dialogue, but know that it's not only the employees and their perspective, it is, the entities under the Metro Charter who are within that benefit program, who have to live with the decisions. And then it is the future generation of employees coming in to Metro who we also have to consider. What's going to be attractive to them to come and be a teacher, be a Metro employee here within our system?
Ms. Stagg, would you make it a priority to make sure that you talk to Metro employees? Would that be on your priority list?
I think it's critical. I hope we have an opportunity to do so. How do we make sure that we do have that opportunity? Do we just request it?
Reach out to the employee organization.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Has to.
Yeah.
So, you will have to speak to all the different groups, so.
I say that employee organization, make sure you reach out to them.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you all. See you next door.
Do you have these? You don't use these?
Yeah, parking, we have it, thank you.
So you already gave them out?
Well, they're on the table outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thought I had a little job.
We have one more, the Work Release Commission, the appointment of Ms. Madeline Whitaker for a term expiring January 1st, 2024. Ms. Whitaker?
Yes.
How's it going over here?
Hey there, how are you doing?
Just fine. How are you?
Did you get a parking pass?
No.
Oh, you got one now?
Thank you.
Welcome. Would you please introduce yourself and
Okay.
describe your interest in the commission?
My name is Madeline Renee Whitaker. I'm originally from Michigan, but I've been in Nashville long enough to be a Nashvilleian. Love the city. I work as a payroll tax analyst at Phillips, right over here on 4th and Union. I was one of the people that were on the pilot program for the sheriff's office to tour all of their facilities and go through all the processes from the beginning of a citizen being brought in to being released. I hope that would help me have some knowledge and bring something to the board by experiencing that. The other thing that I do is that I have a mentorship program for girls ages 13 through 17, which is really important for our children because our children are dealing with so many problems, such as bullying, cyberbullying, suicide, and I hope that work that I do with that would also help me to be able to make a decision by being on the board.
Very nice. Thank you. Any questions or comments?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nobody has anything else. We are adjourned.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.